Okay, we made our change, and we'll do something we haven't done so far on our EUC rides, and that is try to get some footage over at the Cascades. As we leave the trucking repair center, now unfortunately inside this entrance up here, the road is very EUC unfriendly, so we'll just have to decide when we get there if we're going to ride or walk. Oh, brother. Let's get a look at the Cascades entrance sign there. This is the announcement about the closure of Old Sulphur Springs. Just past the Cascades, I believe, is where it's closed. All right. What I don't like about this road for EUC riding is visibility isn't that good because it's hilly and curvy, and there's no shoulder. We are definitely challenging the hill climbing capability of the IPS 191. I think it's down this way, isn't it? Let's see if they have. Yes, there we go. Well, here we are going around the outer perimeter of the Cascades. These are the cottages. Love that fountain area and the water. We're kind of on the back side of the campus right now, I guess you would call it. There's a very nice nature trail to our right back there in the woods. This is the assisted living area. There's the greenhouse. We can go up now. Straight ahead is the rear entrance. Basically, that leads to Woodruff. And this section is where they're building new cottages. Many completed, many still underway. So all of this that we just rode around is the expansion portion of the cottages, which kind of goes in conjunction with the addition of Reedy House. which is the expansion consisting of a new building for villas, aka apartments. To our left are the villas that were already here. This is the older section of the villas. Now, this apartment building on the left is the new one called Reedy House. We'll take a spin around the great lawn here, with the clubhouse down in the base of the U shape. It's kind of a U-shaped courtyard here. On our right here is Conisty. That's where Mother and Dad live. Down here at what I call the base of the U is the clubhouse. The dining room is in there, along with many other things. I don't know if we can climb this. I hope we can. Ooh! All right. And let's head out the little walk-in gate here, which is for the trail. Or at least primarily for the trail. It might be for other things. All right. Well, I'm really happy right now because let's get a look at the front fountain here. This is really nice. That is such a nice front entrance. All right. Well, like I said, I'm happy because I've been hoping for a long time to get some footage back there. Now let's see if we can get safely back out to Old Sulphur Springs. This road was not designed with EUCs in mind. Once we're across the street, I'll be feeling much better. Cars coming up behind us. This is when you wish there were a shoulder. Really, that wasn't too bad. I didn't get the foot position I wanted. I'm going to try again. That's decent. Okay. Well, it actually was much better going on that section across the street until we reached the Cascades entrance than I thought it would be. It's still not ideal by any means, or what you'd like to be riding on, but one thing helping us is the traffic is light. And the Lhotz did demonstrate for us why it's the wheel you want to have when you're on hilly terrain. I wish this street right here went the whole way home. That'd be a nice, relaxing ride. Quiet, peaceful, flat. Really, the trip home is pretty enjoyable, actually. My least favorite part is the climb up from Patewood up to the top of the hill, where the Hilton is. Almost could have ridden across there. My timing was off. This Jeff Lynch Appliance Center was originally a home improvement warehouse store. I can't remember for sure whether it was Home Depot or Lowe's. There was one of those before Jeff Lynch took it over. Years ago, Jeff Lynch was located, let's see, right near BJU. On 291. No, wait. Is that 291? I've got to give that some thought. I can picture in my mind where it was. Let's see. Is that 291? I'll have to give that some thought. That was a long time ago. I was about to cross the street there. I thought, oh, this is one of those unusual times when I can actually cross the street here. No, it wasn't. I virtually never cross my street. I virtually never cross the street at that location where I just failed. But for a fleeting moment, It was clear, it was empty. I thought, oh, maybe I can do it. So we'll just go down to where we usually cross. It's a lot more relaxing place to cross. Curb. Okay, here's where I usually cross. That was much nicer than back at Jeff Lynch. Now I've been thinking about where the old Jeff Lynch store was. And I think it was back behind I think it was across the street from where the old BJU train cars were. There's like a shopping strip there, a group of stores there now, whereas back then it was just a single store, a large one, actually, that had been a grocery store originally. So that whole section is really looks, and of course the BJU train cars are gone. So that whole area looks very different from how it did back when Jeff Lynch was there. Here's that brief crossing we have to make from the end of one sidewalk to the beginning of the other. Crossing over 385. Well, I'm happy today because we got to ride around the Cascades and get some footage over there. I really was not planning on that today. Just when I got there, I just felt like, hey, let's just do it. It feels like the day to do it. And it worked out great. Now, that might be the only time we ever do it. It's possible we may never do that again and go back riding around there, because we don't want to be a disturbance and a nuisance. But it was really nice to make that part of our ride today. Normally when we do that ride, we stop at Jeff Lynch. Well, no, we would actually go from Jeff Lynch down the portion of Old Sulphur Springs until the cross street, across from the cross street, you know, that has the Now this I don't like because I have to stop here. It's very hard to get momentum for this climb. Now what I've started to say about where we usually end this ride that we did today, we usually go through Jeff Lynch, across Woodruff, down to the end of Sulphur Springs, at the point where that entrance is marked for the Cascades. And that's what we'll go back to as our ending point for that ride. Oh, this is kind of bad. I guess I'll just get off here. I got kind of messed up because the traffic light was red just as I approached the intersection. Plus some cars were arriving. I wonder if we can get across this time. I'm trying to get across. Great. Now, I like that there's a bike lane here. This is a very long climb and pretty steep. The Lhotz can always do it. I've never had it die on this hill, or not be able to complete the climb on this hill. But interestingly, it does vary how easily it can do it. It's doing it quite easily actually today. Some days it struggles a bit more. Like I said, it never fails. I've never had it once not succeed at climbing this hill. But for whatever reason, this is one of the best climbing performances I've seen it do on this hill. It's really surprising me how lively it climbed this steep and long hill. Well, that's why we love IPS and the 191 Lhotz. My chance to walk is being taken away. Hurry up. I hate that when the pedestrian light is green, and yet at the same time it sends a ton of cars through, blocking the pedestrian. What good is that? We're challenging the IPS Lhotz again. Can you see what an excellent hill climber the Lhotz is? That's why I love it so much. I see some people on the sidewalk up ahead. Rats. That's unusual. I don't usually encounter pedestrians. Oh, brother. As you can see, the sidewalk on the other side of the street is not there yet. This is not usually when pedestrians are around, I usually take the street kind of as a courtesy. Just have to try our hardest here to be safe while we try to ride down to where the sidewalk begins. Here it is. Now I'm going to return to my preferred side. Because it's just much easier when we get down to the end of this segment of the trip. I need to be on the left side of the road. I don't want to have to try to make that crossing later on. I rode on the side of those utility covers. which many times I don't do. I hate the bumps. That's my reason for riding on the side of them, but yet sometimes I'm fearful that in that narrow strip I might go off the edge of the sidewalk. Oh brother, looks like I'm gonna have to thought I might have to stop there, but I didn't, so that was great. If those bushes are left untrimmed for much longer, I might be forced to get off and walk. I learned my lesson the hard way on some bushes once that were sticking out into the sidewalk. I thought I could squeeze past, but instead I was knocked off. My wheel went bouncing out into the street. So the lesson is, if bushes are protruding into the path, especially if you're on a sidewalk, it's well worth it to step off, carry the wheel past the bushes, and resume, rather than having your ride ruined. Luckily, I was okay, the wheel was okay, so it kind of spoiled the ride, because I don't like to have a mistake like that in one of my rides. It's disappointing. But other than that, that was the only harm that came of it. Luckily, there was no traffic in the street at the time. That could have been disastrous. But it did have the benefit of causing me to realize that one should just make conservative judgments. You were helping me right there. Half an inch difference, I could have been. Here we are on East North Street again, BJU campus to the right. A few months ago, you couldn't see these houses over here. They were all behind trees. The trees were dying. They pulled them out a few months ago. I'm not sure exactly what kind of plantings those are that are in there now. But it's nice. The planting area is covered in wood chips, probably from the trees that were taken down. And it's a different look, but it's a very nice look. Down at the corner is White Oak Drive. We'll be turning right here. Because of damage to the sidewalk down here, I can't really ride over this. I have to go out into the street. This is BJU campus on our right. Still BJU campus on our right. These birds found something to eat down here. They look like little berries. Still BJU campus on our right. Now we'll be turning right at this street, which is Wade Hampton. That means we're almost home. I usually go through the Early Learning Center parking lot because there's a badly damaged section of the sidewalk out there.